Podcast. It is Monday, August 18th, 2025, MMAOB Daily Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Adam Martins, Big Marcel. Marcel, how's it going, man? We're going to recap UFC 319 and we'll preview UFC Shanghai after. Let me know how you're doing. I'm going to tweet the podcast out. So talk for 30 seconds and talk to the people.
Doing well, man. Looking forward to talk to Scott with you. I don't have a lot to say, actually, man. I hope you guys had also a great watching of the event. Nobody's in the chat yet, so I don't know against who I'm talking right now, but let's hope some people in the chat will be there soon. Overall, it's all good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I just messaged our friend Marcus. He's been asking me when we're doing the podcast, so I just reminded him we're going on right now. And the thing just fell off the top of here. Oh, here it is. Oops. Great start to the podcast. Here we go. No, I'm good. Dana's here. You want to throw it in the Discord? I mean, you might have already. You probably did already.
Already.
Yeah, I know. I figured you did. I don't even know why I ask you anymore. You're too quick. Tristan's here as well. What's up, Tristan? Glad to have you here, man. I got to get the YouTube part of it ready, but yeah, we'll talk about the card. We'll talk about Contender Series 2. Also, a guy missed weight today, which is crazy to me, Marcel. I tweeted, I was like, this is embarrassing. And then I thought, oh, man, you know what? His manager's going to go after me like that guy last time.
What's the manager?
I don't know. I'm just assuming it's the same guy as Jake Hadley's that went after me the one time. Remember that? Do you remember that?
That David Fish went after you. Yeah,
that guy. What do you
Manchester
know about?
Top team.
So it's probably. I wonder who it is. Maybe it's the same as Leon Edwards. I don't know. By the way, I'm just looking at the numbers. Our last podcast did like better numbers, although the picks, I mean, they weren't great. Let's be honest. George was our savior. George killed the picks on the other day. So
yeah, really good with Elliott, for example. Yeah.
That was a great pick. But yeah, I mean, 6-6 for me, 500 night. You know, the good thing was I managed to kind of keep the bets like low because I didn't like the card from a betting point of view, but. Yeah, I mean the picks could have been better. I think you went 5-7, so I mean you made some good calls. We made a couple of good dog calls, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
Drakkar close consensus dog. I should have picked Murphy. I switched kind of during fight week, so that was my mistake. Although I do think he was Pico looked good before he got brutally fucking knocked out again, but you know that was to be expected, I guess. But yeah, I mean overall, I think we made some good calls, but we made some iffy calls. Like the main event was not a competitive fight, obviously, although. I mean, Marcel, I didn't think it would be, so one-sided. But we'll talk about that in a second here. All right, cool. That's ready to go in the back. Doing everything with one hand, guys. I'm pretty good at this now. So I got the mic in my left hand. I got the, Marcel, I'm used to this, right? Just like you. You're good at the,
Well, why getting me involved, dude? You were saying yourself, so don't get me involved.
Oh, man, let's get some more comments. All right. You always curse the guy that I have my top pick in the confidence pool. Screw you, Dana. Just joking. Andrew, what's up, man? Glad to have you here, dude. Go take a bonk hit for us, man. Seamus, what's up, brother? Yeah, no. Where are you driving to, man? I'm assuming you're going home from work or something. Let me know. Michael, what's up, man? Yeah, we'll talk about that fight. I have some thoughts about it. There's a guy named Bear in the chat. Love it, man. Awesome profile picture. Pretty cool. John, what's up, man? Good friend of ours, John B from the Discord. Yeah, no, that's not good. We'll talk about the contender after. So we'll recap the contender at the end of this, and then we'll talk about the next one on the preview podcast. True, what's up, and glad to have you here as well. We got Hype as well here. And Bear had under 2.5 in the Kai fight. It was great pick. All right, let's talk about the card. Let's get
you forgot a comment.
Which one? The
last one.
Oh, oops. Yeah, I know. Well, Marcel's a switch hitter, right? You got to ask Marcel about it. He knows how to use the left and right pretty well, right, Marcel?
Whatever, dude. I have no idea what you're talking about, but yeah.
Oh, I'm talking about you whacking off all the time, dude. What do you think I was talking about? Do I have to spell it out for you?
Of course I understand what you were talking about, dude. I'm not stupid.
Oh, no, my computer's screen is flying back. Seamus, what's up, man? So he's going to school. Driving back up to school. Okay. What school do you go to, dude? That's awesome. All right, let's get into the fights. Switch hitter, dude. Switch hitter. Stranger in the tub. Yeah, it's like a ghost when you use the left hand, Marcel. It's not you. It's someone else. So different sensation. All right, let's get into the card. I think we talked enough about dicks. We talk about more about vaginas on here. I think we talk about dicks way too much sometimes, but it's funny. Danny, what's up, man? He says boring but impressive. I let's get into it right now. So we'll talk about the fight. We'll start with the top and work our way down to the bottom. I mean, complete pure domination here. 5-round main event. By the way, Antoine's in the chat. What's up, brother? Complete domination, Marcel, from top to bottom. Let's look at the stats here, guys. Total strikes was really low, 37 to 13, but the significant strikes. The total strikes was like, I think he set the record, right? 529 total strikes, Khamzat here. Also had 12 takedowns and 21 minutes and 40 seconds of control time, which was second in UFC history. Behind, you know what the number one was? Did you see that number one for control time?
I haven't. I have to think. Give me a hint.
Sure, it's a guy that used to be a lightweight fighter. Famous lightweight. He's not in the UFC Hall of Fame, but I don't actually. You know what? He's a guy we did not mention. I don't think when we did the Hall of Fame thing, which is interesting. But I do think. Sorry,
Frankie.
No, he's a former champion though. It's a former champion.
Oh, a former lightweight champion.
He missed the record by 30 seconds. Khamzat did. So this guy had 22 minutes and 18 seconds. So just a little bit longer. Do you want to know who it is?
Yeah.
Guy named the Muscle Shark, Sean Shark.
I saw Sean Shark
against Hermes Franca.
Yeah.
Who's
your favorite fighter, Hermes?
No, that guy's a piece of shit, dude. Let's be honest. He's a piece of shit. So go read about him if you want. I mean, it's not good stuff. It's terrible stuff. Pretty sure.
And Shark, by the way, that fight he lost his belt because he tested positive after that fight. I think, right?
I believe so. Yeah. Which was
because after that fight, we went to BJ Penn, Joe Stevenson for the vacant title, I think. So
yeah. Also, I think Shirk, his son, I think, is an MMA fighter now. So that's interesting. Hopefully, he doesn't test positive like his dad. As far as Hermes goes, Antoine, read about it. I mean, I don't really want to talk about that in the podcast. It's not good. It's really bad. You know what I'm talking about, right, Marcel?
Yeah, let's say he had some activity with somebody who was not the right age.
There you go. It's terrible stuff. He's a scumbag. So let's get into the fight, though. I mean, it was a dominant performance by Khamzat here. Marcel, like I said, broke the record for strikes, second in control time. Not the most entertaining fight. I mean, we can be honest about that here. Like, it wasn't the most entertaining fight, but like, it was a dominant performance. I wasn't like super bored watching it. A lot of people thought it was super, super boring. I don't think so. But I will say this, like, for a guy that was in control of the entire fight, he really didn't go for the finish very often. He actually wasn't credited even with any submission attempts. It's funny. Dricus was the only one credited with the submission attempt, Marcel, at the end of the fight. Bro, come on. You were praying he was going to get that rear naked choke with 30 seconds left.
I'm going to be honest with you, man. I mean, I was kind of impressed with Khamzat, because we saw in this fight with Burns and Usman, he had trouble in the third round, his cardio wasn't there. And in this fight, yeah, he faded like at the end of the fifth round, but before that, he was pretty dominant,
Yep.
The thing is, like, was it entertaining to watch? I mean, it was very impressive to watch, I'd say, entertaining. I don't know, it was super entertaining, but because Dricus didn't know what to do when he was on his back, or he just couldn't do anything. What really pissed me off, to be honest, and listen, man.
Let me guess. Mark Goddard, is that it?
Okay. Yeah. The after a fight, we should have never have to talk about a referee. He put himself into that fight by standing the both guys up, and DDP almost got the win there at the end. He didn't get the win, but maybe it wasn't even close. I don't know, but it was a possibility. That's not good. You shouldn't do that. And even with me picking DDP in this fight, if DDP somehow chokes Khamzat out in that last round, he should give 90% of his purse to Goddard, because that was fucking horrible, dude.
You gotta love Goddard, though. Like, he gave the people that bet on DDP
no,
a chance.
I don't. He shouldn't be interfering at all, dude.
Anyone with a DDP ticket was like, you got to give Goddard props because he gave your boy a chance to win the bet.
Of course, these people are happy with, but I'm not biased here. I don't mind who wins.
Listen,
I want to have a clean fight.
I saw Aaron Bronstetter, who a good friend of mine, obviously well-respected guy, Luke Thomas. They talked about this. They think the stand-ups were warranted. I think they were kind of iffy, man. To be honest, because. Okay, so if you do read the rules, like, yeah, if he's not like super active to get the finish, they can stand it up, even if it's in a dominant position now. But like, I don't agree with that. I've never really agreed with that, But at the same time, like, again, he didn't really go for the finish of this fight. That's the only criticism I have, because he completely dominated the fight. Like, it wasn't close at all. Did you have like multiple 10-8 rounds or just the one? Like all the judges had the third
Two,
round. Did you
I
have
had
multiple?
two or three.
Yeah,
I
I
had,
think that's fair. I
but
think some
but
people had
Adam,
all the rounds, except for
I
the
don't.
last round, not
I
the
don't
last
agree
round,
with
but
all the rounds. I think the
yeah,
first round was not a 10-8 because it was like it was dominant, but it was not like with
fair.
a lot of damage or
There was
anything.
like that crucifix position where DDP was just putting his head in to like Khamzat's body. Those punches were like they didn't do much damage. Let's be honest. I think the third round for sure was 10-8. I think maybe the fourth round. I'd have to watch it back, but I don't have a problem. Actually, I think the judges were really good in this card. We always shit on them. They were good on this card, guys. They were
Yeah,
bang
fuck
on.
it, finally.
They
You
were
know,
good. I mean, get these judges back in Vegas or something. Like,
yeah.
Anyways, a couple of other people in the chat. Big Wank,
Yeah,
your boy
wait,
Big Wank
wait,
Marcel.
wait. I wasn't ready. I wasn't
Oh, I'm
done yet.
sorry. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, Mark Goddard, man, we have to talk about it. I feel like you want to go very quick from this point, but this is bad, dude. I mean, stop interfering into fucking fights, even when somebody is in side control. What are you doing, man?
Yeah, I don't like that.
You are not like the main character there or anything. It's really annoying. And normally, listen, I like Goddard. Normally, I have no problem with him. It's the same with Jason Herzog as of lately. I was always like Jason Herzog is good. These referees shouldn't be interfering so much, and it's just annoying, I mean, I want to see fight. Listen, if DDP cannot stand up, it's his problem, and I don't give a shit that like 10,000, 15,000 people are booing. Suck my dick, I mean, it's a fight. It's also not like if you play for you would say football or baseball, but if you play football like the European style, the soccer style, and one team is not good with defending and they get like 2 goals against them, then the referee is like, yeah, you guys not doing attack anymore. We're only going to attack to this side. We kind of fuck that. Stay away. Really annoying. I got pissed by that shit.
M.A. Holes is in the chat. What's up, man? He says Goddard's the worst. I was at the fight with Usman and Covington, the first one where he stopped it with like a minute left. I think that fight was stopped early. Do you remember that? The fifth round, it was like Usman knocked down Covington. It's a title fight, very close fight. Do you remember that?
Yeah, but I could see a point for stopping that, but at the same time, it could have gone.
It felt early being there. I mean, I haven't. I don't even think I've. Well, I've probably watched the fight like once or twice since then. But anyways, I think Goddard's a pretty good ref. I don't agree with the stand-ups necessarily, but it is what it is. True likes the stand-ups.
Yeah, but
of course he does because True had a DDP ticket.
Listen,
I think.
Listen, I love True, but he's a degenerate fucking kickbox lover. He's like a guy who always wants to see the stand-up. He doesn't understand that.
Yeah.
It's sportive based what I look at. I don't give a fuck about the show and what makes money. I'm not on the UFC payroll. Fuck that. I want to see sportive perspective. I don't want to see show perspective. I don't give a shit about that. I want to see the guys who deserve to be in title fights, and I want to see honest matchups. And I don't need fucking referees to stand and stop a certain thing to happen because they don't like the fucking wrestling. Learn the fuck wrestler. Fuck off.
Here we go, Andrew. Marcel is the cage hug champion of the world here. He loves it, man. Marcel sent me this fucking hilarious meme yesterday. It was me crying with like a board behind me of like Ulanbekov and Evloev and like all these guys that are like kind of like lay and prey fighter. Well, I mean, they're not lay and prey, but you know what I'm saying. They're grapplers, I should say. These like Islam's not lay and prey. Like I know you put him on the list. I thought it was funny though.
You know what's the funny thing here? People are complaining about Ankalaev, about Evloev, about Chimaev, about Makachev. But where was the complaints when Matt Hughes was the champion? Where was the complaints when Mark Coleman was the champion? Where was the complaint when Randy Couture was the champion? Nowhere.
I like this. We need the Marcel rant. Yeah, Marcel's just. I don't think you're Indonesian and Dutch or whatever your background is. I think you're Russian, dude. I don't think you're actually like Indonesian. So.
I'm just honest.
Fair enough. People love it. Oh, Marcel has 2 monsters a day, right? It's 2 a day, right? Usually
one.
Oh, one. Okay, yeah. You don't want to have a heart attack, right? We need you, man.
Maybe in the future, but let's hope not.
Matthew, what's up, man? I see you in the chat too. Yeah, I mean, I think this fight would be great. I don't know if they do it though. Like, I'm not sure what they do next. Okay, so Khamzat wants to fight at Abu Dhabi. I don't think they do that. Do you think so? They put him turn around short notice?
I also don't know. By the way, True. So. You say we complained back then. We cannot check that anymore because all these people are dead already. You're the only one left, so we don't know.
Yeah, I agree with this guy too. Like, I think GSP. I complained even. Like, I saw his fight with Nick Diaz. It was just he blanketed him, dude. It wasn't very exciting,
I felt like GSP was in the beginning when he came to UFC was super exciting, and then after he lost,
he started playing it safe a little bit.
Yeah, and he could because he was.
But you don't blame him. I mean. It is what it is. I love the comments that we're getting a ton today. All right, let's talk about the next title shot. Like, the Ritter wants it. I don't mind any of these fights. They're all interesting. I don't want to see a rematch. We talked about this last week. We're like, if it's close, rematch. It wasn't close, right? So
Yeah.
no rematch necessary. I actually
Uh,
think DDP is kind of fucked. I'll be honest with you. I think he's in a bad spot because there's Imavov, Kyle Bahayo, DeRitter, and Fluffy ahead of him, right? So DDP is going to have to beat probably 2 more guys. He might, but I don't know, man, honestly. And I think Fluffy, based on this fight, Fluffy's going to have a field day with the DDP, dude.
I kind of think like I don't think you can like compare Fluffy's way of fighting to
Sure.
Khamzat's way of fighting. I don't think you can. But the thing is like for DDP, it depends on who he fights next. Listen, if he fights against the loser of Imavov Borayo, he can be back in on track immediately again if he wins that fight. If he wins
Yeah.
that fight, I say.
Yeah.
The thing is like I think the clear number one contender is the guy who wins in Paris. That's the clear number one
Do you want
contender.
Imavov to be the champion, or him or
No,
Chimaev?
no. You know, I'm not a big
I
Imavov
know,
fan.
I'm fucking
I'm
with you.
more of a Borayo fan actually than I'm an Imavov fan. So,
Fair
but
enough.
like for me, you know, I'm really big on who did you beat and not how many wins you have. You know, we had that discussion yesterday
Yeah,
in
we did
the
talk
Discord a
about
little
that.
bit.
Yeah, for sure.
And for me, it's like, listen, Imavov is number one
Oh,
because he beat Adesanya.
oh, I can't wait to talk about the next fight, man, with the Floyd and Murphy. We'll talk about that in a minute here.
Yeah. Yeah, but Imavov is number one because he beat Adesanya, and he's rightfully the number one there, you know,
Yeah,
because he beat Adesanya at that moment. So I have no problem with him getting a title shot if he wins against Borayo, because pretty much he was already the number one contender, you know?
yeah. I mean, honestly, like they just have to get this division going because there's so many guys waiting in line. But I don't know what they're going to do. If they do DeRitter and Chimaev in Abu Dhabi in October, I'd love that. But I just don't see them putting that in the card. Also, Danny Rubenstein came out today and said there's a mistake on that
Yeah.
graphic. So Rakic, with that fight's in Vegas.
No, they put it on the broadcast that it was in Vegas, but it's actually in Abu Dhabi.
Oh, it is in Abu Dhabi. Okay, so Rakic versus year.
Mosakanov.
Oh, and then Yuri's fighting Khalil
Round 3 in
on the
Vegas.
same card. Okay, there's
No,
like,
no,
oh
no, no.
wait, what the? I'm so
No,
confused now. I'm actually confused.
Yuri against Khalil is in Vegas on the same card as Ankalaev and Pereira and Korea Marab, but the Rakic fight against Mosakanov is on the Gan Aspinall
Okay, so it's the
card.
other way around. Okay, I got it now. Okay, cool. Thanks for clearing that up. I
No
was
problem.
because I looked at that card. I'm like, man, this card's fucking stacked, but it was
But
wrong.
also, listen, I thought they changed it, but it made sense because I was like, they want to all have the 205 fights on that
Yeah.
card, you know, but apparently not.
It's just better for those guys to fight probably in Europe or in well, I guess it's in Asia really. Anyways, yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. But interesting stuff. All right. Was there anything else I want to talk about? I mean, there's so many comments, guys. I'm sorry I'm not getting to all of them. There's so many. Oh yeah. I want to ask you this really quick before we move on. Demetrius Johnson comes out today. Robert Whitaker comes out. You saw the comments. They're like,
Yeah.
if you don't like this, you don't like MMA, you don't enjoy the sport, you don't enjoy grappling. I don't know about that, man. I'll be honest with you. I think that's a really like you're holding your nose up to like everyone that just wants a more entertaining fight. I don't listen. I didn't hate this fight. I don't think it was. I've seen way more boring fights, but at the same time, like, you know, from a casual fan, for your casual fan, you're at the bar watching a fight. I can see why you wouldn't want to watch it, but at the same time, like, you know, for me, it was whatever. I just think like it's a real low hanging fruit thing to kind of say that. Like, talk about that Contender Series fight last week with Bradley De Silva and I can't remember with the Greek guy George Mangos.
Mangos, yeah.
Horrible fight, horrible. But I had people, and I was like, this is one of the worst fights, literally one of the worst fights I've ever seen. Like, no one did any damn. Dana ripped them at the end. It was horrible. And I had people in my comments saying, you don't enjoy jiu-jitsu, you don't enjoy the MMA because you don't like wrestling. It's like, no, these guys didn't go for a finish. They didn't try to advance position. They didn't throw any strikes. At least Khamzat, I know they weren't like significant strikes, but at least he did throw some strikes. But again, that's my only criticism, man. You know, that he didn't really, you know, go for a finish at any time. That's my only criticism. But again, dominated the fight. All right, let's move on to the co-main event here. Lerone Murphy, one of the best knockouts of the year, spinning back over. Aaron Pico gets iced again, dude. Oh my God, Aaron Pico's been brutally knocked out multiple times. I will say this: Aaron looked good in the first like couple of minutes of the fight. He was using all of his tools. His boxing looked good, wrestling looked good, but once again, goes in the pocket with his hands down like an idiot and gets brutally fucking knocked out once again. Showed those levels to the game, and now Lerone's calling for a title shot against Volkanovski. Keep your rant short, but I know me and you talked about this already. I'm okay with Lerone Murphy getting it. He's 9-0-1 in the UFC. That's a great record. Marcel is all over Mobstar because it sounds like Monster, like the energy drinks that he drinks. So that's why he's a big Monster fan. But in all honesty, I think you can make the argument for either guy, Marcel. I really think. But you're all over Mobstar here. Tell me why you don't think Lerone should get the title shot. Let me know why. Let the people know.
First of all, I want to say amazing performance by Lerone. Great knockout. Look good. I think Aaron Pico didn't look bad at all, but I mean, he got caught. He went reckless again.
Yep.
The thing for me is like I said to you, like I don't really care about how many fights you won. I care about who you won against. And I picked Lerone Murphy in this fight. I didn't have high hope for Pico at all. I'm not Mick Maynard, so. I was like, this guy, he's decent, Pico. He's 100% decent. He's a good fighter. But I didn't saw him as like next level. I was already annoyed that he got matched up with Evloev. I'm happy that fight didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Now he fight Murphy. I mean, if you look at it from just from a sportive perspective and not from like a super like highlight-esque, and people should stop acting like Lerone Murphy is some big finisher or whatever. They did the same thing with Leon Edwards when he knocked out Kamaru Usman. Leon Edwards is like a good but boring ass point fighter, But if you look at it, Evloev. Who did he beat? He beat Diego Lopez. Diego Lopez was on short notice. Of course, that's true. And it was when Diego wasn't ranked yet because it was his debut. Arnold Allen, he beat. A lot of people think Allen won. I don't think Allen won.
By the way, I was there for that fight. We talked about this. That was a good fight. Dana hated the fight.
Yeah, because Dana sucks. But then you have Aljamain Sterling, that fight. That was a fun fight as well.
It was a close fight, too. Very close.
Yeah,
it
was close. But Evloev won, okay?
He did.
He beat Dan Ige as well, So those are his ranked wins, Yep. If you look at Lerone Murphy, his win last time against Barbosa, that was a ranked win back then. Josh Emmett is a ranked win, which was a good win by his. Dan Ige, where he got knocked down, by the way, but a good win for him as well, And now Pico, but Pico isn't fucking ranked. Pico has hype behind him, thanks to the UFC. I mean, and thanks to a lot of younger fans, But and because of some fighters, some real good fighters, who are like, oh, this guy's the next level. This guy, Pico. I mean, Pico is decent. I have nothing against him, but can we stop acting like he's the second coming? So it's a good win for Murphy. Besides that, Evloev has the better resume. Listen, if he's fucking injured still, you can give it to Murphy. But even if Jean Silva beats Diego Lopez at Noche UFC, even Jean Silva has a better shot, in my opinion, over Murphy to fight for a title. And I wouldn't even complain if he gets it over Evloev. If he gets it, Silva would be still shitty by the UFC because Mossad deserves the title shot, But I think Murphy is even behind them if Jean wins, But we'll see. But listen, I like Murphy. He's a good dude, He has some good wins. But if you look at context, dude, you said to me yesterday, Evloev barely got past Nick Lentz.
He did. It was split decision, man.
I thought it should have been unanimous. I'm honest. He lost the first round. I give you that. But if you look at Lerone Murphy, he should have lost to Gabriel Santos in London. He got very lucky in that too. He should have lost to Subaira Tuhukov in Abu Dhabi.
You hate that decision so much.
Yeah, but that's a long time ago. But I look at context. I don't mind if they give it to Murphy, but I think Murphy shouldn't be next with a title, and that's the only thing I want to say.
But our friend Cole's in the chat. I think he meant Lerone, not Leon. Maybe he meant Leon Edwards. I think he meant Lerone, but he said
Leon.
You're talking about Leon Edwards.
Yeah.
Boring, but Evloev's funny. Yeah, I know.
No. Listen, Evloev, I don't say he's not boring. Don't get me wrong, But people acted like at a certain moment when Leon won against Usman by that head kick.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the only thing I'd say. I don't disagree with what you're saying necessarily, but I will say this.
If you disagree.
But here's the thing. So Evloev pulled out, right? He's sick. I don't know what's going on. Something, illness, whatever it is. Okay, health issue.
No.
But if he had won that fight, he would have beaten Aaron Pico, and then you would have been like, he needs to get a title shot. But
He
Lerone
should have
Murphy
gotten
goes
the
in.
title shot even before.
Lerone Murphy
he
beat Aaron
was
Pico and he knocked him on brutal fashion.
Before he was fucking fighting Aaron fucking Pico, he should have already gotten a title shot. That fight didn't get any extra thing for me, you know?
It's actually so unfair that Aaron Pico got to like just come in the UFC and fight one of these like top 3 guys. It's crazy to me. Eh?
Yeah, I mean, the UFC clearly, that's what they also did with Pitbull against
True.
Yair. If Pitbull beat Yair, they would have given
Speaking of Yair, I think you'd agree with me this. Aren't we glad that he's not in the conversation right now?
Dude, I'm so fucking glad this event, that Noche event, doesn't happen in fucking Mexico, but it happens in San Antonio. Because if this happens in Mexico, we might get Yair. But I also hear that
Yair's not he's not fighting Noche, is he?
No.
Okay.
But I mean, it was a pay-per-view before, you know, so they would have put in a title fight on that card. So, yeah.
I agree with Marcus too. I mean, Marcus made a lot of money on this fight, by the way.
Yeah, congrats, Marcus. Great for you, man. Love it.
I swear, Marcus, I've never seen you lose a bet, dude. Let's be honest. Like, I don't know if you don't post your slips or what, but every time I see you make a bet, it's like it's huge bet, and you always win. So good job, man. I agree with Marcus though. I mean, this guy stepped up on short notice, and in biggest fight of his career, got one of the greatest knockouts of the year. So
I give him that.
And Volk seems interested. Volk was interested in Evloev. Evloev did say, he went on Twitter and said, "Thank you, Volk. I know you wanted to fight me. UFC didn't want to book the fight. You know this."
Yeah, that's true. But of course Volk is interested because he knows as well that Murphy is the most likely stylistically a better matchup for him.
Listen, they don't like Marcel. He has 9 wins, 9 decisions, no finishes.
Bro, I don't give a shit. I'm not in the UFC payroll. I don't have to talk to how they do. I can have my own.
He needs to get a finish before we get him a title shot.
By the way, Jason, there's no Mexican hate, man. I mean, I hope for you guys that you get lots of events. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just happy that Yair, who didn't deserve a title shot, got another one. That's all.
Arnold Allen? That's a good question. I really don't know, to be honest with you. Like, I feel like he's out of the mix at this point, even though he's a pretty good fighter. I just don't know. I mean, has he fought Yair yet? I guess he could fight Yair, right? They don't have. Wait, did they fight? I don't think so, right? Arnold.
I can't remember if they did, but
I don't think so. What's up, Jackson? Glad to have you here too, man. Appreciate you guys in the chat today. We're getting a ton of people in the chat talking about the fights. Everyone's fired up. Marcel's fucking fired up. I'm fired up now. Let's go. Oh, Jason's on my side here. We can't.
Oh, why not? You can put him in the co-main event, right?
Oh my god. All right. Okay, I think we're good with that. Let's go to the next fight. Another spinning back elbow. Crazy back. This reminded me of that card, Marcel, which was UFC Dallas. It was like years ago where you had the back-to-back Sulov stretches with Sterling and Zabit back-to-back. This is just like that. See spinning back elbow not because very often you had back-to-back. I actually think the Murphy one was better, even though this was sick, obviously. Protez knocking out Jeff Neal. I had no doubt Protez would win this fight. I had no doubt. This was like my strongest probably pick on the whole card. It was yours too, right? It was one of your most confident picks?
On my confidence pool, I had Susurkayev at 1. So
okay, fair enough. Yeah, even though honestly he was a little sketchy. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I think Protez is great. I've liked him for a while, obviously.
I know.
Great character. You saw the post fight. He's smoking a cigarette at the post fight. Yeah. I'm not sure about that. I think it's a little odd to do that, but with the media everywhere, I mean, go outside and have a smoke, dude. I don't know, but he's a good character at least.
Everybody should do whatever they want. If he wants to smoke, he should smoke. But the only thing that annoys me is that the media is like, guy smokes again. What a legend.
That's the only thing. It's a little weird that they keep saying how cool this guy looks smoking. It's like they're promoting smoke. It's kind of weird, honestly, guys. Like, listen, he's a cool dude. I love the guy. I think he's fucking awesome. And
it's like me sitting here with a fucking hamburger. It's like, hey, look, I'm fat. Hey, man, I'm taking another hamburger.
Speaking of hamburgers, guys, guess what I had yesterday for lunch? Took my daughter to McDonald's. You guys know what I had? The big roasty. How do you say it, Marcel? Big roasty? How do you say it?
Big roasty, yeah.
Dude, it was so fucking good. It's so good. It's like, Andrew, you know what? Didn't Nate Diaz try to light up a joint once or something and they freaked out at him? Right? So
but he also, I think he did the audience, right?
Yeah, that's right. He did. Yeah. I remember you talking about.
With the 2 kids behind him.
I remember going to give Jose an asthma attack. I know, right? No, Jose smokes. He does smoke. So because I saw him, I was at UFC Montreal and he was in line waiting for the meeting. He was having a cigarette. He smokes. I mean, I don't think it bothered him at all. Yeah, no, that's a good one too. The back-to-back slam knockouts. That card was amazing too, by the way. No, it's called the big, not the thick roasty, the thick roasty, the big roasty. It's like some German hamburger. Marcel knows what it is.
Rosti, and on the O you have those double points above it. I don't know how you say it in English.
Is that an umlaut or something? Umlaut?
Yeah,
Is
an
that
umlaut. There's an
umlaut?
umlaut
Yeah.
in Germany. Yeah.
What's going on, man? Glad to have you here. Anyways, yeah, it was an amazing knockout. So he called out Leon Edwards for Rio. I think he's fighting on this card because it looks like McCann was supposed to fight in the card. It looks like it's not going to happen now.
But Dana said yes already that he fights in Rio.
Okay, so he called out Leon. I don't think Leon's taking that fight in Rio. Michael Page wants to fight. Michael Page wants, and we'll talk about Page in 1 minute for now.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that fight. Might as well just move on to Page. Talk about his fight really quick. I clearly won the fight. He won the first 2 rounds, right?
Yeah,
So he won the first 2 rounds. Third round was sketch as fuck, taken down, and that's his kryptonite, right? The ground game's not great for Michael Page, but Marcel, this fight was also kind of. I mean, did you pick Kane here? I can't remember. You did?
Yeah, I did.
I thought this fight would play like how like did. Again, I made some okay picks on this card, some bad ones. Obviously, the main event was a really bad pick, but this fight played out exactly like I thought. Although the third round was sketch, but I mean, dude, listen. To be honest with you, let me ask you a question. What's more boring to watch? Michael Page point fighting or Khamzat taking guys down and holding them? What's more? It's a good question, right?
Michael Page point fighting.
Yeah, it's not the most exciting thing, you know.
Listen,
that's what you guys to do to win, but it's not the most exciting thing. Go ahead.
Lots of the casual fans I talked to are like, oh, Michael Page, he's so amazing. Oh, I love Michael Page. I'm like, I don't see it. You know, I have nothing. I have nothing. I sound like I have everything against these guys. I have nothing against these guys, but
yeah,
it's not entertaining to me. And MVP was always entertaining in Bellator
because he was fighting scrubs, dude. That's why.
Not great fighters. Let's put it. I don't want to say scrubs, but not good fighters.
A lot of them were, dude. A lot of them were.
So I don't enjoy Page at all. You know,
for me, they don't have a Wikipedia profile. They're probably not a very good fighter. Let's be honest. And the same thing could be said for Pico, to be fair. You know, but I will say this with Page, he's one of the only guys from Bellator that has done really good in the UFC. You know, 3-1 now in the UFC. So, you know, give the guy some credit. But I mean, it wasn't. You know, I don't think it was a great performance. Also,
give
a little surprising. They didn't credit that knockdown. They're saying he's off balance.
Give him 3 restless next. Let's see how he does. But
the knockdown, that was a knockdown, right? You said it was.
I was looking at it live, and I was like, "Is this a knockdown or is this a slip?" Then I look in the replay, and was a clear knockdown.
Dude, he caught him right in the chin. Like
you saw Cannonier's eyes going after in his head. You know, when he get knocked down. I think he got him a second knockdown as well in the second round, actually. So
he didn't count either. I mean, the first one for sure. What's up, Bircha? Glad to have you here as well, man. Anyways, yeah, I'm fine with this fight. If they do this Prates Page fight, Prates Page.
I think Prates deserves better, but I have no problem with it.
I don't have a problem. I agree, but at the same time, like he wants to keep busy. Page took really no damage in this fight either, so might as well just do it. Jared's in a bad spot though, dude. I'll say that. Jared's 41, 42 years old. He's coming off. I know he beat Gregory in the last fight. He survived a couple knockdowns and won, but I don't know, man. I'm not sure. He's kind of like almost turned to a gatekeeper now. Sucks. I love Jared. I think he's a great fighter, but
I think Jared still can beat a lot of these guys in the between top 8, top 15, in between there. But I don't think.
I don't think he had a great game plan in this fight either. I got to be honest with you.
No, the thing is, like he tried to get him down earlier, but Page was able to prevent that, and that takedown in the third was really good, you know. And when he had him down, Page couldn't do anything. So if he would have gotten that takedown in the second round as well, he would have won the fight, maybe, you know. But it was Page did well with the takedown defense in the first 2 rounds.
Neal, they're in different weight classes, man. Jeff Neal. So Jeff Neal's we shouldn't talk about him actually at all. Jeff Neal's contract's over. Jeff Neal makes a lot of money. Jeff Neal's a really good fighter. That being said, I could see the UFC just not re-signing him because he's an older guy now. He's coming off a brutal loss. I don't know, man. I would like to see Jeff Neal back.
We have the Contender Series going on, so there will be a lot of cuts. And, I mean, it's not impossible. We've seen it with Jairzinho Rosenstruck. We've seen it with Viviane Araújo. Yeah. It's like these fighters who have been a long time in the division, but they don't think they can make that jump anymore to the top, you know. They just cut them because they think they are too expensive, you know. Let's hope for Jeffy gets another fight. But, man, I wouldn't be surprised either, you know. But I hope not because I like Jeff a lot, you know.
And by the way, true, yeah, they counted it as a takedown. It looked like he fell too, but they counted as a takedown either way. So, submission of the night, well, performance of the night, anyways, goes to Tim Elliott against Kai Asakura. Is this a fraud check? Tell me yes or no.
I don't want to use that word, dude, because I think that sucks to use that word, and it's disrespectful to Asakura and also to Elliot. Because
Sure.
Elliot isn't a bad fighter, but the thing is, like, I think a guy like Asakura, who's been like hyped by the UFC
Yeah.
from the moment he signed, you cannot lose to Tim Elliott.
Bro, this guy has been such a disappointment in the UFC.
Yeah, Tim Elliott is a great, tough, gritty veteran who always shows up. But if you're good enough to be in the top 10 in the UFC, you should not lose to Tim Elliott. I think you got to give Tim Elliott credit here because it was an amazing win by him. Deserved 50K.
100%.
I didn't see it coming. I was like, I think Asakura will be able to keep the fight standing, and if it does go to the ground, he will probably be able to do enough to still win the round and go back up. But man, I mean, that ground game was nowhere pretty much, and Elliot looked like somebody said like a drunk guy who was fighting. How he strikes, but he has that awkward MMA style, like he always says. And man, good win for him. But for Asakura, man, I think the UFC is really mad about what happened.
I was laughing at this. Not you. This comment. Look what Birch
Yeah.
says. He's like, the tree looks like a little hat on my head. It kind of does though. The tree.
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious.
Looked like when Derek Lewis was weighing in, and you had like a Chrissy Blair behind him, and it's just like he had the white wig on.
Oh man, I don't have any tattoos. I don't think Marcel does either. Do you have tattoos? No, I don't have any. If you're a UFC fighter, you kind of have to, but no, we're not UFC fighters. Yeah, Elliot. Yeah, he won tough, and he has the most fights in flyweight division history. So I would say that we kind of underestimated him a little bit last week for sure when we did the breakdown for sure. But I also feel like, did we overestimate Kai? I don't know, because I didn't think he was that great. I just thought he'd beat a 38-year-old Tim Elliott. I really did. And the first round he looked good. His striking looked good, right? It was sharp. He has no grappling, dude. He has no grappling.
And I'm gonna give you credit, dude, because I remember when Alex Behunin was on here, and Alex cannot defend himself right now, so I don't want to say too much, but sure. You guys had a pretty hard discussion back and forth. He was like, Asakura absolutely deserves to fight for a title, and you were like, this is bullshit. He's new in the UFC. He should prove himself. And you were 100% on point, so I gotta give you credit there.
Fair enough. Let me ask you a question: Who would win this fight? And we don't know what's going to happen this weekend because he's fighting. But who would win? Who would you pick? Kai or Charles Johnson?
That's a difficult pick, dude. And
that's what I'm saying. And Charles isn't ranked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where. Do you think actually he makes a lot of money, Kai? Do you think they could cut him potentially?
If he loses another, he's gone. I'm pretty sure. I think he gets another
so.
one, and he probably gets somebody who is already 1-3 or something.
Antoine, I think it's probably a 4-fight. I mean, they usually sign a 4-fight deal. He could be in a different spot because he was a big star. But
you know what's crazy? He's actually ranked. And
it's actually that's what I'm saying. It's so disrespectful. This dude's ranked, and Charles Johnson isn't. Yeah. Right? Charles isn't ranked, right? He's not.
No, Charles is not ranked.
And he knocked out Josh Van last year. And Josh Van's the number one contender.
Yeah, Charles not ranked. Loney is not ranked.
It's fucking bullshit. Charles Johnson, we'll talk about him. He's the most underrated fighter right now in that division, clearly. Yeah, there's a bear and a Bircha today. What is Bircha bear in Dutch? Is that the same? Is it?
Yeah, it's a little bear. Bircha means little bear. Yeah,
I got a bear and a little bear. That's awesome. All right, let's get back to the card. Besanger or Suster Kai. Okay, so a week ago we didn't have this fight on the card, and we talked to. I think we were just like, yeah, this guy's going to win a contender. And obviously, he did. But he goes in here on short notice against Eric Nolan. Dude, he's minus 1,000, and Eric Nolan lit him up in the first round. Eric Nolan's a welterweight, lit him up in the first round, and then second round, Besanger took him to the ground. And in the Discord, you were like, this guy's so fucking arrogant the way he was fighting. He was
I didn't like that.
Pointing, laughing, keeping his hands down, clowning the guy while he's getting teed off on. I think he had a kind of a shitty performance, guys. I got to be honest with you. For a guy that was so hyped up, like, listen, he'll win more fights. He's very good. I mean, clearly he has talent, right? But I didn't like. I'm glad they didn't give him a bonus. I'll say that, Marcel.
I think maybe also like 2 weight cuts in 1 week probably had something to do with it, But the thing is like the taunting and that kind of stuff. I'm like, dude, it's your first fight in the UFC. Yeah. I mean, you're not like established fucking champion or whatever,
Yeah.
So
he's got a slower roll with the guy. I mean, he's clearly good, but like, is he a championship contender? Exactly. I don't know. I mean, he's got a lot of work to do, clearly,
I agree with what True says. He felt like he bought his own hype, pretty much. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, his hype went crazy. Eric, dude, at the end of the first round, wasn't Besanger on the ground? The corner was like trying to help him up. Like
I think he walked away, but then he went to the cage and then he went down, and then his corner
Scary stuff, man. Scary stuff. No, Cole, I'm waking up, dude. I'm gonna do it. I'm crazy, right? I love it, Cole. Yeah, I know you're not going to, man. I think you're probably going to watch the main card, Cole, if I had to guess, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to get up at 3 a.m. and watch it. Last year, I watched that China card. That card was amazing. I'm hoping this card's as good. Probably not, but I'm going to do it. Dude, I have to wake up and watch Zhao Long and Su Young Yu, man. Are you kidding me? Come on, Cole. I'm not going to miss that fight.
Cool, unless you have to work, and you have something else to do. Don't watch it. You're a bitch, dude. I mean, we do it every week.
I think Cole's going. Guess Cole's going golfing Saturday. That's my guess, Cole. Right?
But you said that's like Marco van Basten when you can when you can watch a real game and you go to fucking golf, man.
Yeah.
Suck my dick.
Yeah, Eric Nolan has. I mean, he has a contract, Joe. It wasn't a 1-fight contract. It was probably a 4-fight deal. I knew he was golfing. Did I not call it? I knew he was golfing. I knew.
Bro, is he golfing on a competition level or just for fun?
He's probably golfing with his friends. They're going to have a few beers and stuff, and it's just golf.
Bro, if it's golfing just for fun while MMA is on, dude, what are you even doing? I mean, come on, dude. At least listen. If you went to a concert of your brother Blake or your father Blake, I understand that, but. Come on, man. You're not going to go for an MMA is on. Say something, Adam. Help me out here.
You're not. I agree with you. I agree. Listen, I don't know. I don't know what to do with this. I want to ask you about this. I don't know what to do. I mean, what do we do? Because it's not really a UFC card, but there's UFC fights on it. So do we add these to our? Because we're not going to have them at enemy odds breaker. You know what? Probably should skip them. Honestly.
Yeah, we could just give our.
We'll give you guys our picks, but we won't count them towards the record that Marcel tracks. Just because it's not on a UFC card. Now, I agree they're UFC fights. It's stupid the way they're doing this. And also, like, Chimaev, why is she fighting on this card? She could be in the actual card.
Yeah, and it's stupid because on the road cards, you don't have 50K bonuses. So imagine you get a crazy knockout there. You don't get a 50K bonus. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, so these guys are saying Eric was a 1-fight deal. Okay, fair enough. I mean, he showed up, though. I guess if he just went in there and collected his check, like, what was that guy? Zach Scroggins? Remember that guy?
He fought Lesky dos Santos, yeah.
They cut him, right? After the fight. He missed weight.
Then they wait.
Got knocked out in like 30 seconds, and they cut the guy. So yeah.
I just don't.
Joe, come on. You got to do. You're going to. Oh, Joe's going to do all nighter. Joe's a beast. Joe's a beast. I'm going to sleep for like 2 hours, Joe.
I don't see Cole anymore in the chat, so I don't hope.
Cole's having a nap right now, getting ready for his tea time on Saturday. So
Colton.
I bet about 10 casuals Bard made. I mean, listen, most people. I mean, I took a shot in DDP because of the odds. I got kind of. The odds looked good to me, Marcel, and it was wrong. It was a bad pick. It was actually a really bad pick in hindsight, Typically, I do pick the better grappler. I just thought he could survive it. And he did survive, actually. He did. But I thought Khamzat would get tired. He never did, until like 30 seconds left.
My title fight picks are also awful this year, man. I mean, last year I only had 3 mistakes, and this year I have already 5 or 6.
Some of these cards have been tricky, man. I knew going in this card, it wouldn't be an easy card. I just knew it. I'm like, this is going to be a tricky card. And ended up walking away 500. It is what it is. That's the one thing, Antoine, I'll say, these crazy like night cards, and even back in the day with Ryzen, I know some of you guys do watch it still. It's fun in the middle of the night because you really see who the true hardcore fans are, Marcel. I'll say that. Wake and bake. Oh, dude, if I smoked and did it, I'd definitely pass out, man. I definitely would. Suchakai versus Brundage. I don't think they're going to do that. Brundage could fight. Well, Eric Nolan's going down. I don't know what Brundage's going to fight. I have no idea who Cody's going to fight.
Brundage will win that fight, so whatever. I think that just to annoy you.
Yeah, I like the close.
Cole's there. Okay, good.
Cole's still here. He's not sleeping yet. Yeah, Close as we'll talk about him in a minute. Close was one of the best picks in the card. Yeah. Murphy too. You guys nailed that one. The DD pick. I think we all got swayed by the odds, guys, honestly, a little bit. And that happens sometimes, I just couldn't pass up like the champion. And there was that thing that said like the only champion that had lost or like underdog that had won or what was it? Undefeated fighter was Ilya that had won as a challenger. That was the only one that won. So I wasn't sure, but clearly wrong. I'm not afraid to say I had a bad pick there. It wasn't good. But again, it was an underdog pick. At least it wasn't like minus 1,000 and got destroyed. Here's our boy here. Kobe he really wants me to eat that thing. I haven't had a chance to, man, but I gotta get downtown and go to a Chilean restaurant in Toronto. Are you really gonna watch the fights in bed, Adam? Let me think here. I'm just looking.
Adam is looking at his bed. He's
I got my bed's I'm looking at the TV though. I probably no, I'll probably put it on TV because it's on Fight Pass, right? So I'll probably watch it on Fight Pass. I have it on my TV set it up, so I'll just do that. Lie in bed and watch it. Marcel, it's during the day. Marcel, he's a night owl, guys, so this actually sucks for him.
This is like 9 a.m. prelims and 12. It's the main card. Everybody over here loves it. I fucking hate it.
Yeah, what's up, man? I only allow myself to indulge in weed at weddings, funeral, had 3 puffs. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't really smoke, although I'll be honest with you guys, I did have a few puffs last week, Marcel, and dude, as soon as I shouldn't have, because I pulled up the Skip the Dishes app and ordered souvlaki and calamari, and I messaged you after. I'm like, dude,
Yeah, they did.
I just got. I'm like, do you know what calamari is? And Marcel's like, yeah, I fucking love it. I'm like, I know. I ate this whole. I had 2 souvlaki sticks, rice, and a calamari in my face, and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have did that. That was a mistake. He wants me to have some Chilean food. I don't know what the restaurant's called, but he sent me the thing. I forgot what it's called. Sorry, go ahead.
Adam is a funny guy, man. He's talking to a fat fuck like myself, and he's like, "Do you know what it is?" Of course, I know what it is. I mean, I'm sick.
Too funny. Yeah, I appreciate it, Andrew. Yeah, give us the likes. You know, I'm not the best at promoting the podcast. We just like to talk about MMA and talk shit on here. So, you know, we're trying our best, but we appreciate you, Andrew. We really do appreciate you, brother. No shame for the stoner community. You know what's funny? Marcel is not a stoner, and he fucking lives in Amsterdam. It's crazy, or Netherlands, I should say. It's crazy.
Listen. I had some, like, how do you say that? Some two or three like tries or whatever.
Couple tokes.
Yeah, exactly. Tokes. I didn't know how to say it. Couple of tokes, but never been stoned or anything. I never even been
because you didn't
drunk.
Inhale it probably. You probably just like smoked it like a cigar. He didn't smoke it properly.
I inhaled, but didn't do anything, and I've never been drunk either.
And I have no fucking clue, Antoine. Was McDonald's, Marcel? That's probably the most prestigious place we go to.
What's the most prestigious restaurant?
I have no idea. I mean, there is so many restaurants in downtown Toronto. Like, yeah. But in all honesty, like, there's a place called The Keg. I really like this place. It's like, it's not a high end restaurant, but it's not low end. It's like a really good steak restaurant, and the prices are pretty good, and it's just amazing steak. So that's one of my favorite ones. But it's not like. You know.
We have a restaurant here with a Michelin star, but I'm not going to eat there.
There's a bunch here in Toronto.
You know.
First of all, I don't have enough money to eat at them. Second off,
exactly.
I don't have the right clothes to eat at them either. And third off, again, I'd rather just keep that money and lose my money on DDP, you know, getting destroyed. I'd rather do that. So it is what it is. All right, let's get back to the card. Michal Alexeychuk just completely fucks up Gerald Mearshart here. Marcel, this fight was not close. Dana, they asked Dana at the end, Are we gonna? Should he retire? And Dana's like, I didn't. When I watched that fight, I didn't see Gerald should retire. Dude, we were all talking about he should retire.
Yeah, but it was still a weird question, man. Why would you even?
It was a weird question. I mean, the guy clearly doesn't like Rufus Sport or whoever. Valley Flow, I think he's at now. I still think, dude, Gerald looked terrible, but I mean, Mihal's good. And also, Michal, is he fighting at Paris? He said he's fighting at Paris.
Yeah, you said that. I have no idea.
Fair enough. Texas Roadhouse. That's where Jeff Neal used to work. He works at Moxie's now, though. So, anyways, yeah, he's a fun guy, man. 9 knockouts in the UFC now. He's a fun guy to watch, you know. But I think Gerald is pretty much. Gerald was so slow in this fight, dude, and you know, constantly flopping to his back, pulling guard. It was a bad look. So,
bro, every time I think about Michal Alexeychuk, now I think about you and Alex who are picking Dumas against him.
That was a fuck. I still think that fight was stopped early.
A little bit early.
A little. Thank you for admitting it. We'll talk about Waldo on the next podcast for sure. All right, let's get back to the fights. Lupi Godinez defeats Jessica Andrade. Decision here. I mean, she won the fight. First 2 rounds. Third round was sketchy. Same with the last one, Plessis, right? She fell apart in the third round. So I guess she has a bit of a cardio issue. I don't know, but she still won the fight. Huge win for Lupi. I would think they put her in UFC Vancouver, right? Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, why not? If she is clear to fight, why not? You know.
Who would she fight? Some people were saying Yasmin Lucindo. Do you like that fight?
Give her Tabitha Ricci.
Sure, that fight makes sense. I'd like to see that. That's a good fight. Tabitha's on a roll, so I'm still not sure how good Lupi is. I mean, she's solid, but she has some losses that don't look very good either. Like my girl Luana Carolina, remember that fight?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If nobody can deal with Khamzat, it might be a bit of adult. Maybe, yeah. I mean, dude, imagine he goes up to 205 one day because he's just so dominant at 185. I really don't see anyone beating him. Like, I'll be honest with you guys. Like, I don't think De Ridder beats him. I think he does this to a lot of guys. But at least with De Ridder, like, his jiu-jitsu is, like, world class, so he can make it interesting, maybe. But, you know, if he's going to be in the crucifix position the whole time, it's going to be hard to win. So, Lazy Bed's in the chat, too. What's up, brother? Yeah, Verna. I mean, we'll see what they do. Like Verna and Dern, they could. That division has to get rolling. Weili Zhang doesn't fight that often, Marcel. Like she really doesn't seem to fight that often. They gotta get that fight booked with Valentina pretty quick, hopefully. All right, going back to the card, we had upset of the night here, Marcel. Alexander Hernandez beats Chase Hooper. I really wish I picked him because I did say last week, and you were here. I was like, theoretically, this could be a good matchup. He could sprawl and brawl if he keeps it standing. And he brutally knocks him out, although some people think it was an early stoppage, which I think you think so. He dropped him. But if you watch it back, man, Chase was like, it wasn't a good look, you know? They could have maybe let it go to round 2. I don't think the fight outcome changes. Chase got just cleaned up on the feet here, man. He got dusted again. So what do you think of this fight?
I didn't expect it, man. But during the fight, when you was watching it, you were like, "Oh, I thought Chase didn't look great in the fight, and I thought Alexander had the chance to hit him, And a friend of mine was telling me like, I think Chase is gonna get knocked out any moment because he doesn't. And the moment he said it, he got knocked out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good win for Hernandez. This is his 3rd win in a row. So yeah, he's back on track pretty much.
He's looking good. I mean, him and Royval, they have like their own little team now. They left Mark Montoya and Factory X.
Royval is always laughing.
Yeah. By the way, that comment at the end, he was saying when he came to the UFC, he had what did he say? He had big balls and a small dick, and now his dick's got bigger or something. Is that what Hernandez said? Hilarious. I know you don't like him that much. I know you've always said the fight with Beal was a fluke, and that was like one of the biggest flukes. You've said this many times on the podcast, but you got to give this guy credit, man. Because I'll be honest, Marcel, a few fights ago, he was on the chopping block after he lost to Damon Jackson and a featherweight. Right? He one last chance. He moves up to lightweight. Credit to this guy. He saved his career. I don't know if he gets a top 15. A lot of people are saying he should fight like a Grant Dawson or Joel Alvarez. I don't think so, but
no.
I think maybe has he fought Jakar close yet? Maybe that fight could happen. I don't think they fought, right? Yeah. And Jakar, we talk about him really right now. I don't think he hasn't fought him. This was my favorite dog pick on the card. I mean, it was a close fight, but he clearly won. Although Sal Diamato's scorecards were a little bit odd. The first 2 rounds. I think the first round Barboza won, but again, he slowed down again, fell apart. Barboza is one of my favorites of all time. Marcel, do you think it's time Barboza, 39 years old, I think now, and taking so much damage? What do you think? Is that it?
Yeah, I don't think Barboza looked great. A lot of people were saying robbery. I don't agree with that.
No.
But yeah, I mean, it said. I think if you ask us 5 years ago who you pick, Barboza or close, we're both picking Barboza, and now you ask us, we picking close. So that says already enough. I don't think Barboza has looked great as of lately. He got some crazy knockouts against Billy Carantillo, and against Shane Burgos, but it's been some time ago again, So
good call. Fair enough. No, I mean, like that fight with your boy Shane, that was one of the best fights. That was 4.5 years ago. So, anyways, I love Edson. He's not going to retire. He'll probably fight one more time. But I mean, if he gets brutally knocked out again, that might be it for him. As far as close goes, I think him and Alexander Hernandez makes sense. Yeah. But Hernandez wants to fight at Noche. I think he is from San Antonio. So
yeah.
Do you think they could? Like a few guys have said they want to fight in this card. That card doesn't have any fights on it, right? Noche.
That card looks really thin.
That card's bad, dude. That card's bad. You know what? They got to get rid of this whole Noche every year. Do you agree?
No, the problem here, I think they if they make it good. But the thing is, they don't give a shit about that card because Crawford against Canelo is on the same day, and Dana will be there.
It's also my birthday the same day, so my plan is, I talked about the keg earlier. The keg opens up at 3:00. So originally, the card started at 4, the Noche card, but it's going to start at 3 now. So my plan is to watch the fight on my phone while I'm at the keg. That's my plan, guys. So there you go.
What's the keg?
Birthday. It's a steakhouse. That's my plan.
Oh, I thought you were getting some sucky, but okay.
No, I'm going to go. That's what I wanted to do for my birthday. They have sick steaks, and the calamari there. Their calamari there is fucking incredible. So it's so good, bro. I can't fucking wait, guys. I can't wait. That's my plan for my birthday, and then watch the fights all night. All right, Karine Silva against Deontay Barboza. Listen, we all pick Barboza. Our boy George called this a robbery on Twitter. I don't know, man. Again, it would have been nice to hit this dog. We would look like geniuses. Dude, she just didn't do enough. She just laid on top and just didn't do anything. I think the judges got this one right. I really do. I mean, I got to be fair. And if there's fights where I think, like last week with Brundage and McConaughey, I said McConaughey did more damage. That's why he deserved to win. I got to stay consistent. I think they got it right, even though it's a terrible fight, but I think they got it right. Go ahead. Sorry.
The thing is, like, that really annoyed me was the commentary during this fight. They were acting like, listen, and I like Barboza a lot, but they were acting like Barboza was doing all the stuff, and Karine Silva didn't do jack shit.
Yeah.
And they were acting like Karine needed the finish in the 3rd round, while I was like, it can easily be 1-1. I think Barboza clearly won the 1st round because of the last minute that was super dominant, and she almost got her out of there. The 2nd round was much closer, but you can give it to Silva, and the 3rd round I definitely gave to Silva. So I was like, this is going to be a close fight, 29-28.
Yeah,
I had Silva personally, to win. We both picked Barbosa before the fight,
yeah.
so we're not biased at all. And then I'm like, both Anik, Rogan, and DC were all talking shit about that decision. I was like, what the hell were you guys watching,
I
guys?
also think they were swaying the odds because the odds were crazy in Barbosa's favor. Like she was a huge favorite at the end of the fight. I was like surprised. I thought it might be a split decision. Like I was
Yeah,
surprised the judges were unanimous. I think they got it right though. You got to give them credit. They were
yeah,
good on this card, man. They were really good. Like the only scorecard really that was bad was kind of Sal's. He got it right with Jakar Closey. Just the way he got there was a little weird, I think.
yeah.
And again, I'm not perfect either. There's some scorecards like that people think I had a bad scorecard, but it'll happen here and there. I think I'm a pretty decent judge of the sport, and like I think the judges got it right, man. So credit to Karina, she got the win. But I will say this: it was short. Something we didn't maybe talk about enough was a short notice because Barbosa got tired. So maybe if she had a full training camp, Marcel, she doesn't get tired. We already talked about this. I don't think so. I don't. Marcel says probably not too, right?
The thing is, like, they have the main event already,
Yeah.
and they not, and that's the heavyweight title fight. They're not going to put that as a co-main, and I don't think they want to have Chimaev as a co-main. Plus, I'm
Yeah.
hearing they're
No.
working on another co-main for that card. So
I just don't think it sets a bad precedent to put him as a co-main. Like
yeah,
then it shows like, okay, well, we don't think he's the big enough star to headline a card. Kind of, they won't do it. They're not going to do it, guys. He'll fight in Abu Dhabi like next like March or something. I would guess something like that, February, March. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we'll see. And the last fight here we didn't talk about, but the opening fight, I should say, Joseph Morales pulls off a huge upset, plus 350 underdog, defeats Alibi Adiris, which huge dude. He looked incredible. I think he should have got a bonus. He looked amazing. Don't you think?
they really look good, man. I think. Yeah, he looked really good. The thing is, like, remember when Ricky Turcios fought Brady Heastand in the Ultimate Fighter finale? It was also on a UFC card. And they originally got the fight of the night, and then the UFC took it down, and they didn't get anything. So I have a feeling like sometimes when the Ultimate Fighter finales, unless they have, how do you say that? Unless they don't have enough of great finishes on the card, they don't really get anything,
Yeah,
as a
fair
bonus,
enough.
So,
You're not
but yeah,
wrong. Maybe that's why. But I think he
Morales
looked
looked good.
incredible. I think he looked
Yeah,
incredible. I'm excited to see what he does in the UFC. I mean, it's his second run. He trains with a great camp. And I will say this too. I watched the show, right? Chael was his coach. DC was Alibi's coach.
yeah.
I know you didn't watch the show. During the show, Alibi and Chael were like chums. They were friends. Comes to the fight, he's not there. He's commentating the fight. He's not there in his corner.
Yeah, I found that weird as well.
I didn't like that. I think they could have they could have been like DC, go and train. It was the first fight too. It was the first fight,
Yeah,
so
first
he could
part
have
of the
easily
year.
did it and then sat in his chair. Little
By
weird
the
to me
way,
because you saw Chael was there and Faber was there, and they coached
what
the guy to a great win. So credit to them. Go ahead.
what do you think about Joseph Morales versus Kaya Sakura?
I think Joseph Morales probably wins that fight. I'll be honest with you, based on
Would
what
you
I
make
saw.
it?
I don't think they'll do that. I think they're going to give Kai someone like a layup. I think they'll give him like I don't even know, like a Mitch Raposo type probably to get back on track. Someone like that. I don't know. I'm not sure. I have to look at the division,
Okay.
but we'll see. I mean, if Charles Johnson loses, they could do that fight. Although I think Charles beats him. So all right, a couple of extra God. Well, let me answer that question from Marcus. Yeah, the two Chase Hooper for me would be one. I think Chase was on the rise and he got brutally knocked out, and then probably Kai. Maybe DDP though too. I mean, it's hard to say. What do you think?
Aaron Pico,
Okay, yeah, good call.
and that's a difficult one. I'd say Aaron Pico and probably Chase Hooper as well because Chase Hooper was really doing well.
Yeah, bad loss. Oh yeah, Suma Darji's another guy. He's fighting this weekend, so he could be in the mix for that fight.
Yeah.
Out of 10, well, I just ask you this. I'll ask you again. Out of 10, what do you think of this card? Out of 10,
7.58.
I had really so 7.58. Okay, I'm at 7.5. I think for me, it
I
was
mean,
a
there's
good,
two crazy knockouts. That's why I got a little bit
yeah.
high.
Those knockouts were incredible, but I'm not gonna say it was a bad card. It was a good card. It was a good card, but I expected a little bit more. I'll be honest with you, man. I did.
Mhm.
Also, we didn't talk about we lost a few fights during fight week,
Yeah.
right? We lost multiple fights. The Ferreira Green fight. What was the other fight we lost? The other tough
Battle.
fight.
Battle against
Battle
Rusiboyev.
too. Battle miss. We didn't talk about him, dude. Battle. Dana was asked, "Are they going to cut him?" He said, "I don't know." I think he gets cut. Am I crazy? I think they cut him.
I think it's very possible. The thing is, like, he lost, he missed weight already 2 times at welterweight. But last time when he missed weight, he was acting like it didn't even matter.
Yeah.
He got lucky against Randy. I think like Randy Brown should have won the
Yeah.
fight,
Fair
but he got
enough.
it by split. And then now He goes a weight class up, and he missed by 4 pounds. You know, he's 190.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah, and if you're, they talked after the fight, like Full Send MMA posted the
I
video.
saw that.
If you're, why would you sign the contract to fight this guy again? I wouldn't do
Yeah.
it. You can't trust him to make the weight, dude.
hmm
There's one thing to miss weight at welterweight, missing by, what was it, 190? We didn't talk about the scale either. The scale was fucking weird.
Super sketchy.
Really sketchy. The girl doing it, and even that guy, but the lady doing it, she would just like tick it once, and the thing wasn't even balanced. And she said, "Okay, you're on weight." It was so weird, dude. And obviously, Tim Elliott was like the scale was something was wrong with it. You could tell watching the win. Khamzat coming out and then using the curtain and weighing at 183. I knew something was wrong right away. I'm like, this is fucking weird, man.
Hey, dude, how long has Lupi stood on that scale? 5 minutes.
She was doing that flex thing like the whole time too, Marcel.
Yeah.
I like this comment too. He's going to be a big fan. You know what? Khamzat backers were they love this one because it was an easy pick. I will say this though: most people would pick Khamzat. They probably picked Khamzat inside the distance. I don't think anyone thought he would win the decision because I think the decision prop was plus 500, which is crazy. Yeah. So credit to PDP for being super, super tough. But anyways, that concludes the UFC 319 recap. That was fun to do, Marcel. I do think we should talk about Contender Series for a couple minutes if you're cool with that. Yeah. So let's talk about this card, which, I mean, I'll be honest, this card was absolute garbage, right? It was terrible, right? Would you agree?
Bro, after the third fight, after the Chimaev one, I've put my PlayStation on and I was going to play Tony Hawk and I just had it in the background.
First fight, Yuri Panfarov defeats Chris Ewert. Really sloppy fight. Low level fight. Kind of like more like regional type fight. Good for this kid, Yuri. He's tough. They might give him one more shot in Contender Series, maybe. But, you know, Dana passed on a contract. I agree with Dana. I know you agree as well.
Yeah.
Second fight here, Radley DeSilva defeats Jordan Mangos. I talked about it already. This is one of the worst fights I've seen in a long time. Terrible, terrible fight. I had my pick right with the Canadian Marcel DeSilva. I was shocked how many people were like, yeah, they're going to give him a contract. He's going to fight in Vancouver. I'm like, no, they're not. They're not after this fight. And Dana ripped this dude to shreds. Radley, I don't know if you've ever seen the show before. That is not how you get a contract. That was bullshit, right? That fight?
Yeah, it was not fun to watch.
No, terrible. Great knockout here by Chimaev. Obviously got the contract. My guy, Dana doesn't know how to say his name. He just says, my guy. He didn't know how to say his name. Jimmy. Obviously gets a contract. Now he's in the UFC where he has 1-0 record, which is crazy. The Ty Miller and Jimmy Drago fight was actually pretty good. I don't know how much attention you paid to this one, but it was actually...
I did.
It was a good fight. It was a fun fight.
I thought it was crazy that Chris Ewert fought that first fight of the night and then cuts down to fight the Drago guy, you know, because Ty Miller looked exactly like him in my opinion.
They actually look similar to face. Yeah. He got signed. I'll say this: I would have signed him too because I think he won the fight. It was a good fight, but I don't know how good this kid's going to be in the UFC. He got hit a lot in this fight. It wasn't an amazing performance, but he deserved the contract.
No problem with him. Yeah, no problem with it.
I wouldn't mind seeing Jimmy Drago get one more shot maybe next season. What do you think? Give Jimmy one more fight?
Or a short notice call. I wouldn't surprise me by that.
The kid showed up to fight, right? Sure. So, and then main event, just an absolute fucking terrible fight and a garbage decision here. Terrible scorecards.
What the fuck?
This fight was so bad, dude. This fight was so bad. Buafia, French dude. We picked him, I think, but man, garbage fight.
I picked Santana.
Oh, you picked Santana. Okay. Yeah, I mean, first round headbutt. Dana was like, "What is this? Like 1993 headbutting the dude?" You know what? Who was the ref in the fight? Was it
Herb?
Yeah, dude. This fight was it Herb?
I'm not sure. Maybe
was it Herzog?
Or Herzog.
I'm gonna check right now because I want to make sure I get this right before I say anything because I have some things to say here. Okay. It was Herzog.
Okay.
Questionable. This is just a DQ, in my opinion. Do you agree?
Yeah, the thing is, I think if he couldn't continue, they probably would have went to a DQ, but he continued, and that's why they didn't. The thing is, like, it was a very sucky fight, in my opinion, and Buaifa won the first round.
But he lost the second.
He lost the second and the third. It should have been a draw.
Brian Meyer had 30-26.
Yeah, what a plain retard, I cannot say anything else.
Terrible.
I mean, how can you score that 30-26? What did you do? Did you saw the illegal blow and then you went to the toilet and jerk off for 10 minutes and then came back? What the fuck?
By the way, there's a comment here, Tristan. Ariane Carnelossi and Pierre Rodriguez. That was a headbutt, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was
yeah. Also
last year,
DQ.
2 years
Yeah.
ago. Can't remember now. Ariane, I don't even know where Ariane is. She doesn't fight that often. Godzi? Which Godzi? What's he talking about? Oh, we PFL.
Rabadano.
Yeah, he lost that fight. You know what? We should talk about PFL more. But the truth is, guys, we're already past an hour, and it's like I don't want to be here all night. I want to get out of here after and cook some dinner. So I think we'll pass on the PFL. But yeah, I mean that was a big upset. Alfie Davis was like plus 900, so huge upset. I agree with Ray too. I mean this was a terrible. It was. I think it might have been the worst contender series. Antoine. I think asking the question, it's up there, right? One of the worst contender series.
Yeah, dude, it wasn't like a good advertisement for the rest of the season.
It
Kind
wasn't
of
fun to
sucked.
watch. It just wasn't fun to
No.
watch. The Silva fight was, I don't know either. I mean, he had that crazy spinning wheel kick knockout on Battlefield Fighting League. Goes in here and lame praise. Very, very weird.
The problem is
We'll
with
talk
this
about
Dana contestants. I don't always agree. Like Dana's like, you should show that you want to be in the UFC, and that's why you should go for the. Listen, if you don't be like that, and you like to just like, how do you say that? Take your time and better not go on this show because you don't get a contract. You know what I mean? So then just wait for an opportunity. But
yeah, I'm with you. But it's also the matchmakers have to do a better job too. I think too. It's
I agree.
blame them as well.
Yeah.
I guess Liz in Dakota makes sense. She had that great knockout. Anyways,
let's get. What was Liz talking about? Fighting Dakota at the White House, like.
Maybe she thinks she's still in the UFC. I don't know.
But Trump not gonna get the PFL in the White House, dude. It's because he likes Dana.
No worries, Marcus. DDP, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, I think Fluffy's an interesting fight, but I don't think they're going to do it. I think DDP's maybe the loser of Kaio and Imavov. Could you see that?
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
I would say that makes sense.
All right, guys, we're going to end this show right now because we're going to do the UFC Shanghai Pre. We have to talk about Zhao Long and Su Young Yu. We have to. So just be back in a minute here, guys. We appreciate it. We had a lot of people in the chat today. Really appreciate you guys that showed up and support us. So again, it's a small budget operation here. Marcel's just me and him talking shit about the fights, and Marcel with his energy. So we'll be back in a minute here, guys. I'll get the podcast set up, and we'll do the Shanghai